Welcome back to Marvel Maniac and MCU After Show. This is your host, Eric Cicada, aka Mr. Honest, back with you for the after show of Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 6, titled Requiem. This episode has it all, and I'm still buzzing, if you can't tell, from the end. The ending of these shows always leave us wanting more. Some cliffhangers, but some really worked up, pent up action that we've been waiting for in some regard, and some stuff we didn't even see coming. So, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. Before we get right into the episode, I'd like to encourage you to rate the show, leave a review. I only ask because I want this to get to as many awesome Marvel fans just like yourself, and everyone's vote matters. Did I sound like Kingpin there? Okay, let's start from the top of the episode and then work our way to what we saw at the end. Fisk hasn't left Vanessa's side. And if you notice something, throughout this whole episode, Fisk does a lot, but he says nothing up until the end when a certain someone pays him a visit. The doctor who tried to console him, I just knew the minute he walked in the room, this guy is not going to rub right against Fisk. I just knew it. And he crushes the doctor just basically with his arms. The doctor offered a hug. He said he's trying to console this angry monster. And he hasn't even unleashed yet. And I don't know. I don't know what this guy knew about Kingpin. I don't know why he felt like he needed to be the guy to go give him a hug. Have you ever seen him hug anyone? I don't know. That guy walked into his death. I mean, if you knew anything about Wilson Fisk, I guess some people don't. Some people are completely oblivious to what he does and what he's about. That's why he became mayor. And I guess he just naively got himself killed. Fisk, with zero shits, just squeezes the life out of that guy as if it's an appetizer for this nasty feast he's about to have. He's got that white suit at the funeral among a sea of black and darker colored clothes. He stands out like a great white whale, like Moby Dick. Fisk leaves a single rose on Vanessa's coffin and walks out first into the blinding light. In my opinion, this is the moment that Wilson Fisk was born again, into Kingpin. He is now full Kingpin. Wilson Fisk is the front. Kingpin is the operations. And he doesn't waste any time, especially with that doctor. I mean, I don't think he would have killed somebody if they didn't try and hug him, to be honest with you. Just bad timing on that doctor's part. I'll move on from him. It's just like the first death of the episode, first death he commits after. I mean, you can argue that's the moment he becomes Kingpin again, is when he squeezes the life out of a doctor, an innocent doctor. But we get, as a side note now, let's move on to a different topic, because Fisk is, in my mind, all over my head, and I'm just swept up by that fight at the end. I'm swept up by it. But we finally get to see Jessica Jones. Apparently she got a child along the way. See, I missed season 3 of her show. Did you like her in this episode? She didn't get as much time as I thought she would. I hope she's in the last few. I hope she's just in the cast now, kind of in rotation with the whole cast, because what we did get from Jessica this episode was an epic one of those fight scenes you don't see, but you can kind of half see through the windows. It's focused on her daughter, not even knowing that she's beating the crap out of a bunch of rogue government workers and task force members. We learn it's too out of their jurisdiction to be the task force. So Fisk is deep in the corruption, even outside of New York City, clearly. And I don't know who makes the call on Jessica Jones' life, but she goes straight to Matt. This was what leads them to kind of teaming up together. So Matt and Karen have a nurse over that's taking care of Bullseye. And Karen does not agree. She does not want to help Dex. She reminds him, Matt being of the church, that Dex murdered that priest, and that priest was a big part of Daredevil original series. Matt confessed to him many times, and at that moment when that happened in that episode, back in season 3 of old Daredevil, Matt wanted to kill Fisk, and Karen said not to do it. Now she brings that up and she questions if she was wrong, that maybe he should have killed Fisk. None of this would have happened. And that's when Matt says that's what separates us from him. Matt has fully gone back to like not going to kill anyone. I mean, he never really wanted to kill anyone. In a moment of impulse, he dropped Bullseye off that roof. And Bullseye does believe he was meant to die. Vengeance isn't justice, Karen, he says. And, Matt is right, but Karen, it's been building up for her a lot. And she's kind of not in the spotlight, not really being able to kick much ass. She wants Poindexter dead. Fisk worries how he will act from here on out because Vanessa centered him. Now he's got no one holding him back from being his true self, right? And BB, just taking advantage of Daniel, again, smooth talking Daniel. It's not that I don't like BB. We got to remember Ben Urich was the original death that launched this storyline all the way back in Daredevil season 1. Is it odd that I feel bad for Daniel, even though he's on the wrong side? I mean, he's a good, innocent guy on the wrong side of the tracks, I guess. And I mean, he officially buried a body last night and with Buck. So he's in, and Buck says that means you're in. He even tells him you're a part of us now. Like, it was kind of like his induction into the underworld of what Fisk is doing. And Buck even says to BB, you always seem to be right where the action is. Buck sees through her completely. She sees him smooth talking Daniel, and Daniel feels just guilty basically about the burying of this body. And this is where Buck wants Daniel to do something about BB. He tells him to give her a fake news piece, something about Fisk that's not true, to see if she's the mole, to actually prove it. And, well, we see that happen a little bit later. Charles is in the background of this episode. Matthew Lillard, a.k.a. Shaggy. I love him. I think he's a great actor. I think he's totally outshining Shaggy. There's just no way of shaking Shaggy when you know Shaggy. So basically, where all the weapons and all the contraband was at Red Hook, where I guess he had access to, Charles talks to Fisk and says, you stole my shit, and I had high hopes for you. And Fisk doesn't say anything. Like I said, he is silent this episode up until the end. And he gets hung up on by Fisk, and Charles is very angry. Protesters start to gather slowly throughout the episode, leading to the ending of it. I was like, okay, this is just a protest, but this goes full, honestly, anarchy by the end of this episode. Finally, Jessica and Daredevil meet. She is very mad about the attempt on her home and her life and her daughter. She says the government is in on this. She knows about Charles. She informs Matt about him. And they find where the weapons are being loaded. Matt says to Jessica, you want to cause a little bit of trouble? Team up fight. It's a team up fight moment. We love the team up fights. I'm crazy about these team up fights, okay? Daredevil and Jessica Jones kicking ass together for like a solid 1.5 to 2 minutes straight. That's almost the bulk of what we get from Jessica this episode. And I'm going to say something. It's kind of funny because in the Jessica Jones show, from what I remember, I might not be fully right about this, but a lot of the big fighting she does is kind of like either off screen or implied. Now, she does fight. Her super strength is shown, but it's more about the character. We don't see enough examples of her superpowers is what I'm trying to say. So I thought, while awesomely filmed and really cool, the beginning of the episode was when she takes out all the thugs around her house. We don't see the action. I feel like almost that's an unintended nod toward the Netflix series where we don't get to see full on fight scenes with Jessica because most likely the budget doesn't call for it. But I gotta say, they had the budget in this episode for when Matt and her took down that facility. It reminds me of an episode in a game when you're taking down an outpost. You got a special edition character, and her name is Jessica frickin' Jones. And the continuous action shots from her throwing things at the task force and Matt like picking up the next scene like in the same frame. It reminds me of Avengers. The first time I loved the Marvel MCU the most, it was a little moment, and it made me realize what this is capable of, what team-ups and character continuity, and what when it all culminates. We see Iron Man flying through the Battle of New York, and he shoots a beam on Cap's shield, and Cap reflects something up to Thor, and then up on the rooftop we go to Hawkeye, and the continuous shot stuff. That is what they did kind of with Jessica Jones and Daredevil in this fight. We get to see her doing something, him doing something, them doing something together. It is exciting as all hell. It's payoff, and it's the exact scene that Jessica Jones deserved coming into the MCU. I'm disappointed. My only critique is we've not seen more of her. These previews have way overly used her for the amount of time she's in the show, to the point where this should have been a surprise cameo. But if Kristen Ritter, sorry, wanted to talk about this or something, they wanted to promote it. They didn't want it to be a secret. So who knows? Maybe the real twist at the end is the whole Defenders are going to reassemble. Holy moly, would that be awesome? I find it a tiny little bit ironic from when Matt was telling Karen, this is not how we do justice by killing people. Cut to giant factory exploding over bad guys. You think they lived? If they knocked them out and didn't kill them instantly. But do you think there's some people who might have survived that? I think a lot of people died in that. So I don't know. That's a little hypocritical, but at the same time, they're doing bad things. So we are okay with it. I just think it's a little bit of a double standard coming from Matt here. It is, but they fight their hearts out. That's kind of what we all wanted to see. And I think to get rid of those weapons is very important. The task force doesn't need them. They shouldn't be going the places that they're going, and they stop it from happening. We cut to Heather in one specific scene, Matt's former girlfriend / therapist, who was nearly killed by Muse. She steals some jewelry from Vanessa, and I suppose they became good friends. I know they had some scenes together, but I guess off screen they became great friends or something. I don't know. And the thing is, I don't know the gap, how long it was between Daredevil Born Again Season 1 and Season 2. I don't know how long it was. So there could have been a lot that happened off screen during that downtime. For me, I thought it was almost close to a few weeks later. That's what I was hoping and thought of, but it could have been a couple months. She confesses to Buck, who kind of sees her mourning Vanessa in her room, and she tells Buck, confides in him that how she killed him and how she got strangled by Muse. Muse is still haunting her, and it's not even just the fact that he almost killed her, it's the fact that she almost killed him. She killed him. The fact that she killed him, even though he was honestly totally set up to die. I was mad that he died. I saw some theories online, spoiler alert, I suppose. I don't think this is true. It's just a theory, but Heather might become another version of Muse. I don't know. I know it sounds kind of sticky. I don't know how. And other people saying Muse will return. Are you serious? He died. If you remember that episode, he was a full dead. So unless some paranormal stuff happens or season 3 takes place on Battleworld next year, where Avengers Doomsday leads us, that could be really cool or really weird. I'm not positive. But yeah, just to put it into picture for you, she is riddled with guilt because he was her patient. And Buck has her show him how Muse choked her. And she does. And she gets so lost in it to a point where even Buck was like, hey, yo, Heather, stop. Daniel plans the fake leak to BB. It's about Fisk not running for re-election. It's not true. Or it just hasn't been said. Maybe it will be true when the time comes, however long that might be. That's the line that got me and made me wonder, are they close? I mean, was the gap between seasons longer than I thought? Because he was just elected in the last season. So maybe it's just down the road he already decided. Part of me thought that I already thought that Daniel knew that she was the mole and knowingly fed her leaks. And I guess that's not the case with BB and Daniel. So she's actually been working him for information, and he's just sort of caught on to it. I think deep down he has known for a bit, but he's in denial because I think he cares deeply for her. I even said once I think he loves her, which, I mean, to whatever extent that is possible, maybe he does. Daniel's such a likable character in such a tight situation. I'm always excited and intrigued to see where they're taking his story. I think he's either going to get killed by Kingpin or become a version of Kingpin. A predecessor, shall we say. We get the moment where Karen has the gun to Bullseye's head, and he gives her a hello, Karen. He says that many times. That is a callback from multiple lines. Literally, he said that multiple times to her. And he invites her to kill him, technically, to avenge Foggy. He thinks he actually really wants to die. He thinks that it'll be evening the playing field. He deserves it, which is so awkward and weird because he's smiling about it. He really has kind of lost his mind. I've never seen more love for that character online than I saw this week. People want him to get his own show like Punisher. I think that would be pretty cool, but I don't think everyone needs their own show. But it's rumored that he wants to be a part of the Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers, which I actually think he'd fit in very well. I would love to see Bullseye a part of that team. Bullseye is a great villain, not even just for TV. I think he's a fantastic villain to keep around in the MCU going forward for some time. I mean, he can only be a villain so long before he becomes an anti-hero if he's going to stay around because, Matt needs to take down his villains. He's helping him now. Maybe he's trying to help him turn. Matt takes in people to heal them, and Karen is starting to become the person she feared she would when she killed Wesley back in season 1 of Daredevil. All these plot lines rooting back to the original series, to the original's first season. That is incredible, and that's why they did a great job of making this a continuity and not a rebrand of Daredevil fully. Daniel and Bibi are at Daniel's mom's house for Daniel's birthday. It's literally his birthday as all this is happening. I mean, that's crazy. And he even uses his birthday to try and get information out of someone he cares about. And I don't know what would hurt him more, if he did that to her and he was wrong about it, or if she was doing it and it'll hurt him that bad either way. But he does find something in her coat, and it's a little card, and it's clearly something to do with the videos being made about Kingpin. He knows, and he confronts her about it, and he even lets her in about Buck. And we get to see Bibi almost leak the information like the mole would, but she saw something in Daniel that made her delete it. It almost seems like she's starting to fall for him. But this exact moment, Daniel is like thinking about the murder he helped covered up the day or two before, by burying that body with Buck. So that's eating him alive. Charles confronts Marge, the governor, in her home, and we saw that Vanessa was working with her to keep the ties together and tethered between Fisk and the governor, but it's actually the next day we find out that Buck, he tells Fisk that the governor is not supporting him anymore. Meeting happening tomorrow. So this is something that's already out of Fisk's hands. He's losing control of everything. He's quiet and he can't take news like this. So he goes to the rabbit in a snowstorm painting that symbolizes him and Vanessa, and actually stands for the moment that he met Vanessa, finding art. Well, it's hinted in the last episode that he went to that art exhibit to see her, but he ended up getting so taken away by the painting. I love that. I love that metaphor for all that. Karen does something because she needs to rebel. She can't kill anyone, so she puts out the confessions of the people they've recorded about what Fisk had done and how he was evil and all the terrible things. Fisk sees it through his window. He keeps losing control. This caused the task force to, one, kill that guy who was working and confessing and working with Matt and Karen, because he found out through the recordings, I'm assuming, and he kills him in front of another officer, Powell. Officer Powell, I forget his first name. He's a major dick. And he uses this as a moment to say they killed him, the vigilantes. Everyone's a vigilante now, all the protesters, and they start using aggressive force against the crowd. I thought that was pretty disgusting, and I know that's happening in the background. Fisk might... It's not going to look good for Fisk. I wonder if Fisk will be upset that something like that out of control happened without an order given by him. And it might come back to bite Powell, or maybe he'll be praised for it. I don't know. Kingpin is unhinged as of right now. I love when we see the shadow of Daredevil over Wilson, and I'm like, it's going to be Jessica Jones or something. It's not really going to be him. But Fisk speaks for the first time in the episode. I'm not surprised you're here, Murdock. And Matt kind of tries to convince Fisk this isn't about New York anymore. Things have gone too far. We've both lost people. And that kind of cuts in with the task force murdering and beating people alive with their batons and all this violence happening. And Karen is going to have some regret. We even see the last we see of Karen at the very end of the episode. It's the cliffhanger. Powell has a gun to Karen's head because she loses her wig. Someone snags it or knocks it off her in all the chaos. So she is at the will of Powell. Just the biggest jerk. I mean, he is so good at being unlikable. As Fisk and Matt are talking and Fisk is looking at the rabbit in the snowstorm, we see some flashbacks of Matt with Foggy and Fisk with Vanessa, and this must be from Matt's perspective. And he says, you leave New York and I leave New York. He's like, Fisk is like, what am I supposed to do? And he gets so mad because he brings up their names, Foggy and Vanessa, and the fact that they'd probably still be alive. Imagine if we never met. Imagine if we never started this. And it just makes him so mad. He starts beating and wailing on Matt. And at first, I underestimate Fisk's full power. But this scene where they're fighting together is so incredible. Oh, my goodness. The choreography is beautiful. Fisk is just swinging, and Matt is dodging him. But at one point, Fisk gets a hold of him. He starts beating the literal shit out of him. And, to the point where, he just takes Matt's arm, and Matt can barely handle Fisk squeezing his arm. Fisk is strong. He's stronger than you could imagine. I wonder if he is, super strength level. Maybe he did take some of that super soldier serum, I keep talking about. That's my own personal theory. We don't know really the raw strength of Fisk until we see this. We know he's strong, but seeing him do that to Daredevil and beat the living crap out of him. He throws him up against the rabbit in the snowstorm, and it already had blood on it from the end of season 3 of Daredevil original series from the fight with Matt. And now it's completely destroyed using Matt's body. There's so much symbolism there. Matt has taken everything from Fisk, but Fisk keeps tangling with Matt, and eventually it just makes him fully undone. That ending of that painting, there's no way to preserve it at that point. It's a symbolism of this just got dirtier than it's ever been. Things are about to get even crazier, believe it or not. Yeah, we leave it on the point where Matt's on the floor at the will of Kingpin. They beat the crap out of each other pretty good. And we see Powell, letting the task force take over the protests and abuse people, and it's just a chaotic ending. Jessica Jones, where are you? Where'd you go? You were only here for 5 minutes. Only I'll say it one more time. Only criticism is a little more Jessica as a part of the main story. I wouldn't want Jessica going with Matt to go meet Fisk, though. I do like the fact that they fought one-on-one in a secluded area. I thought that was a great boss fight. And oh my god, this episode was nuts. So let's go to reddit.com/rmarvelstudios and see what people are saying immediately, see what the fans are saying. Last week it was just 2 guys making really good points. It might be the same 2 guys, but we're going to see what they think right now. I'd recommend coming here for your personal after show, like my after show than this after show. Honestly, if a doctor started blabbing while I was mourning my wife at her side, I'd be mad as hell too, says Downtown Agent 3323. I guess so. Yeah, I haven't been in that position, so I don't know, but I'm also not Wilson Fisk. Space Caboose replies, yeah, I can't really blame Fisk for that. I don't know how we justify Fisk from killing this man. Maybe a good punch to the face would have done it. So, Downtown Agent again says, oh shit, Charles was collecting superpower people for Val, and Jessica almost got picked up. That is really interesting. Val is everywhere. She's lurking around every corner in the darkness of all of this. Who knows if maybe she'll make an appearance in one of these last 2 episodes. I can't believe there's only 2 episodes left. Good God. Now we get serious. On Reddit says, she said people she knew went, and I wonder if her sister/best friend went. She was last seen on the raft with JJ's mom, if memory serves me right. Oh, well, I got to watch that last season of Jessica Jones. I start that this weekend. But Punisher season 2 I gotta watch as well. A lot of honestly good content, I'm assuming and hoping that we're gonna watch and it'll all tie in together. I want to know if season 3 of Jessica Jones leads to her having a daughter. That is not where we left her in season 2, that's for sure. Chance Vance says there's no more satisfying moment in the Marvel Universe to me than seeing Toby Andrew in No Way Home. I doubt it'll be surpassed. That being said, the day we see Powell get his face caved in by Frank, or death by 1,000 tiny objects via bullseye, that will be the second most satisfying moment ever. Powell is an a-hole. I never call people that on the show. I've never disliked a character like him either. I totally agree with you, Chance Vance. And Chance Vance brings up another point. What kind of doctor walks in spouting poetry, offering hugs and kisses to a grieving man anyway? Oh my God, you are right. I didn't feel right about that anyway. I wouldn't have liked that. I probably would have yelled at him to go away. Honestly, I would have, but I would have done what Fisk did, was the death hug, we can call it. That is insane. That is the last we'll read off of our Marvel Studios. Go check that place out. By the time this is released, there will probably even be more fun hot takes. What did you think of this episode of Daredevil Requiem, Season 2, Episode 6? Did the culmination hit? Was the Jessica and Daredevil team up as much as you hope, like as great as you hope it to be? Did you know that? Did we even see this coming, that Fisk and Matt were going to have a one-on-one brawl that would seemingly happen at the end of the season, happening 2 episodes before it? It makes me wonder if the last 2 episodes are going to feel all like Fallout, or I doubt they'll fight again. I'm just curious. I almost said before they fought, I'm like, it's so great that the hero and the villain can just talk and have that intensity play out instead of even showing action. But then the action happened, and I'm thinking, well, this is a Marvel show. So I'm a happy fan. I think that this was one of the best episodes in the season, maybe the series. I say that every week. I think this season's just going to go down really well. They got to stick the landing, and I truly believe that they will, especially if there's going to be some things leading into Spider-Man. I mean, whew, I am ready for the ride. I honestly wish we just had them all right now. I wish they, I was criticizing Wonder Man for being put out all in one day, and I just want the last few episodes of Daredevil now because I'm so invested in this story. So I hope you liked it. MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com with your thoughts. This is where I'm going to part with you today. It's been fun talking about Daredevil. I'm going to be sad when the show's over. Not only because Daredevil's over, it's just because it's kind of the last big show before Vision Quest, which we don't have a date on, likely coming months from now. We're not going to get to do this week-to-week stuff. It makes me think maybe I'll bring back 2 episodes a week. I'm thinking about it. Stay tuned for news on that. And also don't completely expect it yet. I'm still thinking and making a game plan in my head of how I want to run this show and deliver the best possible episodes to you and not overwhelm any of you with too much. Like I asked at the beginning, rate the show wherever you listen to podcasts, especially Apple. Give us a written review. It goes the longest way, and I will love you forever. Thank you for listening. This has been Eric Cicada, a.k.a. Mr. Honest. We got 2 more Daredevils left. We got a lot of great stuff coming up in the MCU this year. It is a good time to be a fan of Marvel. So, until next time, Avengers, disassemble.